Hi, Sarah here today. Apologies if my voice is a little croaky. This is my first project for Crafty Ribbons. I'm a member of their design team. So for this layout I decided to cut out a big cake on my silhouette cameo, and I'm basically going with that theme for this one, and this is my boy on his 3rd birthday right at the beginning of September. And for this layout I want to use some of this seam binding. As you can see, I've got lots of different colours there. They're all available over at Crafty Ribbons. I'll be leaving links below so you can find all these products. And I'm also doing some paper piecing, and I'm using my Mine the Scrap kit, so all the paper products are by them, and I'll leave a little link for them as well. So first of all, I'm just choosing my excuse me, choosing my ribbon colours so that they match in nicely with the floral paper that I'm using for my cupcake base. I'm just trimming down my photo here so that I can add a few layers of paper behind that as well. And I've also pulled out these thicker phrases which have some perfect phrases here. There's sweet and moments, and both of them are like in the shape of ribbons, so they will work perfectly with this theme. So first of all, I turned my paper over and cut out roughly pieces of paper that will fit behind my aperture of the cupcake. I'm leaving quite a lot of paper overhanging because I'll be punching through these layers of paper with a hole punch and sewing through them, so by adding an extra thickness it'll keep the whole thing more sturdy anyway. I'm just trimming off a few little nicks around the edges that didn't quite come out as nicely as I wanted, so I'm just trimming them down there. I don't make you watch the whole thing of me sticking down tape. I basically stick tape down on every bit all around the edges, and then if the piece is too small I just add some glue instead. And then as you can see, once it's flipped over it looks very pretty, and on the back it's a hot mess. So I'm moving on now to create my weaved ribbon. I've used a pencil to lightly mark out some a bit of a guide, so that when I go around with my hole punch, this is the Crocodile Big Bite, it reaches in 6 inches, so you can use it on a 12 by 12 page without it not being able to reach far enough in. I also, when I went to do these ribbons, I've just added some tape to the end to create a bit of a shoelace effect, and then I'm just sticking the end of my ribbon down, so it's completely no sew with this, which you'll probably see a lot of from me when it comes to sewing. I'm not very good really, apart from these sort of basic weaving in and out I can handle. So as you can see, I just made a point with some sellotape to help it ease through the holes a lot easier. I've come back in and I'm deciding to go with a more greeny coloured ribbon because I felt like it matched better in with the title as well as the floral, to bring out the green more than the blue. So I've just gone in with this now, and it's just in the alternate holes here to create this pretty pattern here. And obviously I don't make you watch me sew the whole thing. This is definitely one of those projects where you just get it all set up and then sit in front of a film and just casually thread ribbon through for an hour. It does take quite a bit of time depending on how skillful you are at that kind of thing. So now I'm going to bring in some embellishments, and I'm going to cut out the words that I want but not take them off the backing, so I can keep moving them around and have a good think where I want to put them. So I'm just trimming them out and trying to leave some of the backing so that it all stays together in the packet after. And as you can see, I move it around several times, so I'm putting that to one side for now because I want to create a border around the edge. So as you can see here, I'm just deciding which side of my paper, and because I get the Mind the Scrap paper add-on, it means I've got 2 of each sheet. So I've gone back in, got a full sheet of the first paper that I used for both sides of the cupcake, and what I'll do is just gut the inside of that 12 by 12 piece of paper, so I'm not wasting it all, and then it just creates a frame that will sit behind my main layout. And as you can see, I'm just trimming a little bit around the edge so that there's a nice thin border of floral paper. I do have a think about which side to go for, but I do go with floral in the end. I decide that's what side looks nicest. So next up, I am, as I said, just taking out the inside of the paper. When I use a lot of mixed media, I tend to leave a larger border, but with this, it's not, the paper won't have warped or anything, so I don't need to worry about it being more sturdy behind the background. So I'm just doing a nice thin border for this one, and just popping that out, and then I've got that piece to use on another project. So here's my frame, and I'm just seeing if I prefer the pink, which I don't. Apologies if you can hear my toddler chirping in the background. He's watching Peppa Pig while I film this. Okay, so I've taped this down with some double-sided tape, which I didn't make you watch, and now I'm going to create my paper layers behind my photo. So because I've used these 2 colours, I decided to layer up these 2 colours on this one. I think I do bring in a bit of the aqua green colour as well, and I also, once I've created my layer, I then just ruffle up the edges with my fingernail to just give it a nice bit of extra texture. Here I come in choosing another paper which I think goes best with my ribbon, and I'm just adding this extra layer in here. And again, I've ruffled up the edges. Here I've taken some foam because the ribbon creates quite a lot of dimension, so I need to add foam so that my photo lies flat against the page, because one half is on top of the ribbon and one half is propped up with foam. So I'm coming in now with some more of the ribbons. These are the picture ribbons, like themed ribbons, and I've got tiny cupcakes. I also had large cupcakes that were too big for the page and little macaroon ones, and I've just used tape to stick these down as well. And I really love the way these little cupcakes work, because my little boy's wearing a big parka coat and it kind of blends in with the cake colour on the ribbon as well, so it all pulls it in together, because it started raining on his birthday, so we had to stick him in a big coat. So now I'm just coming in with a few extra embellishments here. There's that pretty banner which I think works well with the ribbon theme that runs throughout it, and I'm just adding a few tiny stickers here and there. I do end up taking bits off and sticking others down because I'm not happy with adding anything on top of the cupcake, so I do actually take a few bits of these off. The next ribbon I'm using here is the thin Ric Rac. This is a small sized, it's a really teeny weeny width one, and I'm just adding a little bit in a few places over my layout. I think I had under the photo, then up next to that little cluster of embellishments at the top. I then add some pink and aqua to the cupcake base, and I then also add some to the cupcake underneath the top, underneath the frosting as well. So as you can see, I have moved a few embellishments around, taken some off, and just bringing in a few glittery enamel dots. So now I'm just adding a few stickers, and they're from the same collection as the paper, so they work, the colours work perfectly, and these are clear stickers so the background doesn't show up. And then I had this cute little swirly puffy sticker and a little bow that I just add to finish off the cupcake there. And I'm pretty much done, I think. What am I doing next? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while since I made this. Okay, having a look at it. Oh, here we go. I've realised that there's a bit of a gap above the ribbon there, so I'm just adding in that extra piece of Ric Rac and putting my bow back on there. And now I'm going to do my date stamp. I'm going to do that at the top. Just stamp it a couple of times to do a faded out piece, and now I'm using the scrap card to cover my photo, or most of my photo, and I'm coming in with some Heidi Swap colour shine, and I've got teal, pink, and I think butter, the other one's called. So I'm just adding a little bit of each of those, and I believe that is my layout done. So thanks for joining me today. Sorry it's been a bit of a rough voiceover. I promise I'll be back on form again soon. And please check out Crafty Ribbons. There's some close-ups at the end, and like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Bye!